This is JD from The Voice Party. This week's episode is brought to you by All Roads Overhead Garage Doors. Call now, 510-375-8756. Proudly serving the Bay Area since 2002. Also, hablamos español. That means they speak Spanish. Free consultations. If you got old garage doors on your haunted garage, you got some important stuff you need to protect, or maybe you live in your garage because this is the Bay Area, you got a whole family living in there, give us a call. All Roads Overhead Garage Doors. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we should just officially christen this the beginning of this episode of the Voice Party Podcast, featuring the amazing Rico of the clothing line Richmondian. Welcome.
Hello. How you guys doing? I guess I am amazing. Yikes.
Wait, how do you pronounce it? Rich.
So we're left, right, and barehanded. That's the name of the clothing line. That's our company. And I guess our main kind of thing that we're trying to push right now is Richmondian. Richmondian. So, just native of Richmond, being from here, I had no roots anywhere else except for Richmond. Okay. So when people would ask me, what are you? Where are you from? And, man, I'm from Richmond. I'm Richmondian. Yeah. I speak Richmondian. I am Richmondian. So, yeah. So all the people, roots in Richmond. Roots in Richmond. Definitely. That's why we're here.
Well, how old are you? You say you guys go back? Because you look a lot younger, man. I'm just...
Man, I age well, man. I've been drinking my juice, drinking my water. But I just turned 30. Just turned 30.
Way. Okay.
Yeah, just turned 30.
Yeah, I'm 33, so,
How do you guys know each other? Man. See, this is why I'm glad you didn't tell me.
Going to battle.
Oh, yeah.
Used to go to battle daily.
Front lines.
Is talking legal stuff or not? Like rap battles or stuff? Or
Richmond's youth.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Man, after school program days.
White teams.
My guy.
Mm-hmm. No, raising these babies. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So you have a clothing brand. It's called Left,
Right, and Barehanded.
Left, Right. Where does that name come? Like, what's the origins of that name?
Thank you. So originally the real deal story was I'm sitting on the floor. We just moved in together, me and my wife, and our daughter is right-handed. She's left-handed. And I'm sitting there with my big old hands like, what can I bring to the table? Like, they're already a unit. They're a team. They're rocking. You know what I mean? What can I do? And she always be, talking about the bear hugs. Give me a bear hug. Let me get a big bear hug. So I had the bare hands to it. So left, right, and barehanded. Oh, yeah. And I thought, like, being from California, we're California bears. You got to have your bare hands too. You know what I mean? So,
and you're kind of a bear yourself.
I guess so, man. So I've heard it. Kind of grizzly. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, left, right, and barehanded. And I broke down in tears, like, oh my God, I like this. We had already submitted some names to the state, got some feedback. And I'm saying it because this is something I wanted to do for a while now. Like, me and a couple guys in high school thought we can, try to build something. Mm-hmm. And, just life distances people and things happen. And, so I got with her. She was like, let's build your dream. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? So we sat down. Like I said, I came up with this name. And
who better than with someone you're with every day, right?
Man,
it's your partner.
Definitely. It was like the ultimate team. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at our daughter like, you're the ultimate teammate. You know what I mean? Like, let's go do this. You know what I mean? And and then the same month, the same week that we got our state paperwork, LLC paperwork, we found out our son was being born. What? So it was like, whoa, hold on, time out. I just started a business. We can't have a kid. You know what I mean? Like, how is this going to be possible? And he ended up being our little and sign, left, right, and barehanded. Oh, wow. So we're all kind of a piece of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's the glue to everything. So he's that and symbol. Like, we couldn't be together if it wasn't no and.
Right.
He's the glue. I had to just stick him somewhere, man.
How long have you had the brand for now?
What are we at? 2016? So since 2016? November 2016? Yeah.
So what kind of like every time I fashion or look at me, I'm not what type of like look were you going for, or is it you always been about like, or you always been into fashion? I see you got matching shoes. You can see I got my chanclas on and stuff.
Man.
I was like,
I'm jealous.
I'm at home, so it's
that's right. That's right. I mean, you're domain. Just being from the Bay Area, Richmond, hip hop culture, we're always entangled within fashion. You know what I mean? And who looks better, who's flyer, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, it was something to me. Some fellas wanted to do in high school. So, you know, you always got your eye on different brands. And I grew up idolizing Upper Playground. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah,
That's the with the walrus, right?
Walrus, exactly. Up is my OG. That's what I like to tell them guys. Up is my OG.
I still have this piece from 2010, I think it was, maybe 09, and it's because you know they have different graffiti artists and stuff come through and design pieces for them. It's a hoodie with almost all the video game controllers from the original Nintendo up to Xbox 360 on the hoodie, and just kind of monogrammed on there, you know. So it was like bait, but not bait, you know. Exactly. White background, so you could fit all the grays and the blacks on it. Just love them. They go.
Yeah. So looking up to those guys, like, you know, those are like big shoes to fill. And growing up in Richmond,
and especially because it's different than the stuff you find like at regular stores.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, catches your eye.
It's not your everyday fashion. You know what I mean? It's I don't want to say just Bay Area culture, because it's, you know, it's streetwear. You know, skateboarders fell in love with it. Hip hop culture fell in love with it. Period. So, you know, looking up to guys like that, and then you know, you got people doing it still like the hundreds. You know, people like that just doing it big, and you know, like I said, we've been around since 2016, but we haven't really had just a fair go around, you know what I mean, as far as like starting a business, you know what I mean, everything it takes, everything we had to deal with on the personal side, it you know, kind of just halted the process, you know what I mean. But yeah, trying to catch my breath here still. Give me a second.
So I mean, like you mentioned the Upper Playground. That's a perfect example. When you go to a place like that, like, you know, obviously they change in artists a lot, I'm sure. Do you have like your own artists, or is it all your creations from your own mind, like stuff you're inspired by, like, or you collaborate? So
far it's only been me. It's only been us. You know, just me and the wife really bouncing off ideas, and I'll start something and, hey, that's cool, you know, keep going. Or I try to make everything kind of a, you know, real you know, it has to have a message behind it. You know what I mean? It's not just something that looks nice. You know, I'm not trying to follow no trend. Right. I'm not trying to just be eye catchy to sell something. You know, I'd rather not sell, you know, to not follow the trend. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of came up when I felt like fashion, especially that was geared to our age bracket, was kind of damaging the culture. You know what I mean? We had Looney Tunes smoking cigarettes and smoking everything. You know, we had
damaging the nostalgia,
Captain Crunch with 40s and, you know, everything. So, you know, we chose to just do something different. Like, that was in high school. I was like, I don't even want to wear that no more. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just started wearing plain white tees, and I wanted to build my own. You know what I mean? I want to build my own. So
is this some of the stuff you I see you brought this? I was.
So these are my last two decals. I got to order some new ones, but these are two Richmondian decals for you guys.
Oh, right on, man. Thank you.
Black and white.
Thank you. So appreciate it. Yeah, you see,
definitely.
There's all this is stuff that we've gotten from guests.
Okay, we're sitting there loving it. Like, me and the wife back and forth. Like, what is all this?
Yeah,
that's really
everything.
Cool.
Like,
everybody
to the list. Yep,
leaves a piece of themselves here.
That's right. That's how it should be.
Beautiful.
And so you said this is, I mean, your own first interview ever.
Sitting down. Definitely first ever.
Except from the twins.
But those twins snatched me up, man. But yeah, this is, you know, sitting down with you guys first ever. Yeah,
you know, you're a year older than I am, and now every time like I hear someone like in my age group is doing something like, you know, like this, or you doing it with your family, and it's your own I mean, stuff from your own head that you kind of, it's inspiring, man, because
I really appreciate that.
Because you know, it's cool to have a good job, it's cool to go out and make money and stuff, but
man,
at the end of the day, dude, like, you know, if you're not doing what you really want, it feels like you're.
No, that's right, man.
Yeah,
and that's a perfect segue. Like, you just knew my life. You know, 2016 was a big year. That's when I quit my good job. I guess a lot of people felt I had a good job. That's where I met Joaquin.
You get congratulations for having that job, I'm sure. And
you know what I mean?
It
just it started not being what I signed up for. Right. You know what I mean? I didn't sign up to run paperwork. I signed up to help kids. You know what I mean?
What was it, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I ran after school program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after school program in Richmond, and I don't want to say the school name.
Nah, yeah, I just want to know what it was.
Anybody hearing this to know exactly who I am.
Right on.
It's still some of the kids are this their freshman year, over at Kennedy, and anybody who listens to this podcast knows I work over there, but like, and they see me all the time. They're like, hey, and I'm like, oh, well, they ask about you. Yeah. You have been asked about.
Man, thank you.
Do you still talk to Mr. Rico? How's Mr. Rico doing? Who's still over there?
You don't want to say no names, dog.
I mean, that's your name, though.
Yeah, that's
what they call you.
My bad. No. Mr. Rico, I thought you were talking about someone else.
No. And they're like, yo, is Coach so-and-so still over there? Is Mr. Rico still over there? I'd be like, well, no, they left. And you know what? I told the former sixth graders, I was like, you know what I think? I think they just left because y'all were the dopest class, and after that, there was no need for them to stay around. Like,
man, that's in ways that's true, man. And in ways that's the ultimate truth. Like, when you feel you've done enough, you've done your due diligence, there's no more for you to do. You know what I mean?
And you're telling these kids to follow their dreams. You're like, you know what?
That's right.
I'm gonna do my own.
You know what I mean? And everything that I dealt with on the personal side, it really took me out of the community. You know what I mean? I had to move out of the city for a little bit. We just got back into Richmond a few weeks ago. The week of Christmas, we just moved back into Richmond. We're in San Leandro for a year. Yeah. So, man, just good to be back in the city.
Was it you left for a good reason or just
personal health reasons kind of took us down? You know what I mean? Looking at it right now, smiling at me.
You from Richmond too?
Okay. Yeah. Wife's from Richmond. You can definitely come sit down and get this microphone.
I'm looking at him like, yeah, I'm born and raised.
Born and raised. Well, we're gonna get to her in a bit.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
But no, her health really took us down. We got married. She got a real bad stomach issues.
When did it start?
Man. So we got married and we got together. Moved in 2016.
Oh, okay.
April 2016. We moved in together.
Yeah.
Like I said, we started the business November 2016. So at this time, I'm still working at the after school program. Still, running things down there. And she was actually a parent in my after school program. That's like how we met. You know what I mean? So that's like the kicker, and that's like kind of the segue into like the second chapter of my life, I would say. You know what I mean? Because I was doing after school program work from the time I was 15 until 25, I think. Just about. So about 10 years I was doing after school program work.
10 years. You know what I mean? Wow.
And it started off just like a regular job. I'm a high school kid. Let me get a job. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with it, man. I worked under a guy who showed me you didn't have to be a cookie cutter guy to make an impact. You know what I mean? Like, you can come make a real deal impact on these kids and still be you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And that was golden to me. Like, oh my gosh, I don't have to, I can be me at the end of the day and still, leave a lasting impact on these kids.
The best thing you can do for someone is just be yourself around them.
Man, and it got to me early on, which was cool. You know what I mean? And not a lot of people were doing that kind of work. You know what I mean? Oh, you work with kids? Oh, there's no money in that. What are you gonna really do? You know what I mean? And but yeah, man. So like I said, 2016, it just wasn't what I signed up for anymore. You know what I mean? We were trying to play sports. We were trying to do certain things outside of the school that was still community based, and there's a lot of red tape everywhere. So I just had to walk away from it. Yeah. Turned in my resignation letter on a Sunday night and didn't show up on a Monday morning. And that was it. You know what I mean?
And then from there, you just started with this.
Yeah, man. So I thought. Okay. So I thought we were gonna just be able to dive in. You know what I mean? I can order some shirts. I started screen printing. Yeah. So I screen print. I designed everything. Everything was in house in our little apartment. You know what I mean? Right there on Cutting. Mm-hmm. And
does your house look like a warehouse?
Man, it did. It did for a little bit. I had screens and T-shirts and boxes and and we started moving stuff. And then like I said, we found out the baby boy was coming. Yeah. So that kind of changed everything. Like, I couldn't just be a broke entrepreneur. I couldn't just be out here trying. You know what I mean? So we had to figure something out. I started working in Berkeley for another nonprofit. Doing blood pressure work, doing little blood pressure clinics and things like that. So I've always been community based. You know what I mean? Yeah. Always been around people, just trying to help where I can. Be a light somewhere.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you still doing that right now, or you're?
Yeah, actually, just started working in Oakland at another nonprofit, working with the homeless at a transitional house.
Oh, so, okay. So you're all about helping. Like, that's what it seems like.
Basically, man. And I mean, at the end of the day, I can say Left, Right, and Barehanded is about the family. Yeah. But to make it strictly about a brand, left-handed goals, right-handed dreams, and barehanded beliefs. Mm-hmm. So your left hand has to hold on to your goals. Mm-hmm. Your right hand has to hold on to your dreams. And you know, you don't see your bare hands. You got to believe in your bare hands. You got to hold on to your beliefs within those bare hands. You know what I mean? And
Foundation.
whatever you believe in, go do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit and argue about your beliefs, but go believe in something. You know what I mean? And if it's you, if it's whatever it is, go do it. You know what I mean? But you need all three out here. You know what I mean? A lot of times we chase our goals, chase our dreams, and we get rich, and it's done.
So with you created that system that makes it easier to carry on with the dream, I'm sure, because you gotta create something for yourself to keep, you know, like out here, you know, performing for drunk people in bars. It gets a while. It gets kind of hard sometimes. Like you gotta keep on something. Like if you can't turn a negative to a positive, make it funny.
Oh yeah.
That's like my own thing. Like and it works because it's your own little, you know, your own little religion.
That you
got to kind of program yourself to
and exactly how you said it, it's your own religion, because your religion is based off, you know, mindsets, rules, you know, this
experience
is
too.
You know how it works. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And when you just get down to faith, beliefs, getting away from all that, you know, that's what that comes down. But everybody should have, you know, their own little, you know, like you said, their own little things that get them by. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we lean on things that aren't solid. You know what I mean? But like you said, it works for you. It works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? That's I was gonna ask you, like, to segue into not a different subject, but where can people find your brand? Because that's, you know, I mean.
Yeah, man, like I said, we just got back to the city, so I'm trying to do some pop-ups, trying to get back, trying to network. Our son just turned 2 in July, so I guess he's turning 3 in July now, because we're already in this side of 2020. You know, and it's kind of like he's growing as the brand grows, you know what I mean? So we have a website up, lrbh.life. lrbh.life. It's .life for a reason, because you need your, you know, like we just talked about, your lefts, your rights, and your bare hands for life, period. You know what I mean? So we didn't choose the .com, we didn't choose the .org, we chose .life for that reason.
I didn't even know there was a .life.
Me either, bro. I seen it and was like, ding, ding, ding. Man, and then it just made sense. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea. You know
so it's like a lifestyle thing. It's more than clothing. I mean,
and you know, that's trendy to say, so I really tried not to say that, but damn right. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lifestyle. You got to really, you know, live it, you know? Right. I grew up in a time where people didn't just listen to everything that was on the radio. I listened to one art. This is my guy. I'm going to put this on. Yeah. You know, I wear one pair of jeans. I wear Levi's 501, like, you know, whatever it is. Like, you know, we didn't do it for status. We did it for, you know, that's what I like. You know what I mean? And, you know, really just wanted to stay away from trends. You know, really wanted to be our own. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Something that I just you know, thought of right now is because you talked about, you know, obviously it's family oriented. A lot of times when like, especially young people, you know, when they want to chase their dreams, they feel like kids get in the way of it, and you kind of, I mean, you're proving that otherwise because you're still pursuing it. And I've seen it with a lot of people that, you know, either musicians or whatever. As soon as they have a kid, like, they see that as a time to like kill all my dreams and just go get that money. And that's right. And, you know, and that's like a typical thing. Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely saw windows of opportunity, you know what I mean? Different things that were going on in the city that I felt like I should have dove on, you know what I mean? And at the time, I felt like I missed my opportunity, you know what I mean? Definitely. A lot of hands I should have went and shook. But because of everything I had going on, like, I had a baby boy at home. I had a wife who couldn't even swaddle him to sleep. You know what I mean? And that's the hard part about it. You know what I mean? But if anyone's interested in that side, that's coming up real soon. You can go get that renewed, restored, reassembled. You know what I mean? That's the book. It's in there. But, you know, it's a real deal. Like, you know, life happens. And when you sign up for sickness and health, for rich or for poor, like, it's real. You know what I mean? And so many times people just back out, you know, as soon as they see a, you know, a little, you know, a little shot of light, they run to it. And, you know, I really feel like the things that we just went through in these past 3-4 years, just, you know, was a test. You know what I mean? Big time. Like, what are you guys really signing up for? You know what I mean? Like, y'all just like each other? Like, nah, this is, you know,
the definition of a relationship.
You can't play with marriage nowadays. You know what I mean? It's not here in the Bay Area. Like, it's, you know, it's way too much going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. You know, like I said, we had to move out of Richmond. That was because of financials. That was her health. That was, you know, me quitting my job to stay home with the son. Yeah. Because she couldn't do, you know, as far as a newborn. You know what I mean? And cats were sitting there, you know, kind of bailing out on me, like, oh, he quit his job? You know, what's he doing over there? Why don't you come buy a T-shirt from me? Like, come support, bro. Like, you can't repost that. You can't, you know what I mean? But you want to, you know, try to get me a job, and that's great, you know. But I've always had a job since I was 15. I had 2 jobs since I was 15 and went to school. You know what I mean? So it's never been an issue to go find one. You know, for me, it was holding on to it because of everything we were going through, and you know, that's hard. I picked up a job at a screen printing shop, did that for a couple months. Had to run to the ER a few times, and you know, they told me, you know, bro, you missing too much work, and go find you another job.
and that's the thing that sucks about jobs. You gotta, you gotta put off, you know, family.
That's right.
Especially in moments like that. Like I've heard of people getting fired. Like, I had to go to the ER because my you can't, you know.
Especially in a place like the Bay Area, like it's so competitive. You know, everybody has a BA. You know what I mean? And if you don't, it's like, well, I know I don't. You know what I mean? And you you know, you got to get in where you fit in. A lot of times it's who you know. You know what I mean? And that's how we know each other, because of who we know. You know what I mean? I only got my position because of who I knew, and he, you know, slid in because of who he knew. And you know, it was you know, that's small town life. That's the beauty of Richmond. You know what I mean? Everybody knows somebody. Everybody can, you know, has a gateway to somewhere.
Right,
you know
right.
What I mean?
And you from Richmond, born and raised in Richmond?
Born in Berkeley, Alta Bates, but raised in Richmond. Yeah. Still, that's, you know, Richmond to me.
That's the beauty about it, though, because like I was born and raised in Richmond. Grew up on 4th and Nevin my whole life, and first time meeting you.
No, straight up, exactly. It's so full, you know, but you know, definitely a small town feel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I just want to shout y'all out. You know what I mean? I tuned in a couple of weeks ago, I think, and you just said something real simple. Like, I just wanted to do this to highlight Richmond, and it struck a chord with me because that's all we wanted to do. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Richmondian was the first thing I wanted to come out with because I wanted to do something for Richmond. Yeah. On the bottom of the Richmondian tees, I put assembled in Richmond, and that's air. AIR, air. Everybody needs air. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? So everybody needs somebody from Richmond. You know what I mean? You got to have, you know, something, and you know, take that anywhere with you.
Man, I appreciate you say that, because if you like, if you look at everyone we've interviewed, it's all Richmond people, and it's a lot of talent. Yeah. It's a lot of talent in Richmond. I mean, we're not in Richmond now, but you know, like, born and raised there, lived most of my life there. You know, for a while I left for, you know, personal reasons, but I always liked the mystery of Richmond. Like, you know, it's a small little town that has a bad reputation, man. But there's a lot of talent and a lot of talented folks that come out of there. And you know, some, like, I see that in our generation. Like, we grew up seeing a lot of the bad stuff about it. So we know how bad it is, how bad things can get. That's right. And it's like, let's get rid of that.
Yeah, let's not let that define us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a period of time, you know what I mean? And you know, at that time, that's what was glorified across America. You know what I mean? Period. You know, and we just happened to be a little compact city who could do it. You know what I mean? And you know, I worked at an after school program when Richmond was in a state of emergency, and that was big to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, we put state of emergency on our flag football T-shirts that year. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're playing in.
Brazen.
Like, man.
Bold.
What was that, like 06, 05? I remember that, yeah.
And, you know, I'm like 16, 17. I'm like, man, this is wild. We put state of emergency on our T-shirts. Like, wow.
What school was that?
Man, I was at Wilson. I was with Big Reggie. If anybody knows Big Reggie, that's my uncle. And I miss you, and you're going to beat my ass when you see me, because I ain't talked to you and called you.
Hey, I'm gonna be real. Like, Reggie is doing so much stuff. I'm
across the wall.
I'm about to ask him to get on this podcast.
Yeah, that's my uncle. That's everything. You know, I owe that man a lot to just, you know, who I am. You know, my beliefs as a man. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't call him enough. I'm back in the city, and I need to get right next to him. You know, because I owe that man a lot.
It's something Reggie said to me years ago before he introduced me to you. Is when my position at the Y at Kennedy was up because the funding had ran out. He said, you know, Dream, that was his nickname for me. Like, I need you to know, no matter, even though we're not going to work together anymore, I am the exact same person, man, that I am, that you met me. I am outside of this office. So, and I was like, all right, word. And then, you know, lo and behold, he pulled me to the side. He was like, so check it out. There's this guy like working right behind us who needs some help in the after school program, and I think you would fit under him, you know. And he spoke very highly of you, and that's how we met.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's right, man.
And I gotta say, I'm grateful for that connect every day. You know, even though you and I haven't worked together in a long time, like, you were the first person I think I met that showed me you could do some good while actually kind of giving an eyebrow or turning a blind eye to certain red tape.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, because you when I worked under you the first time, you know, I gotten hit by a car.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I actually called you that night and was like, hey man, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to work tomorrow. I'd like to. I think it's sprained, and then that's when the EMH guy was like, no, it's broke. That's right. You know
That's right.
And after I healed up enough to walk around on a walker, I was like, hey, can I just come? You know, because I tried to see if the Y would let me back in with some reduced work, and they were like, nah, we don't have any reduced work for you. But it was still important for me to see my kids, so I was like, hey, can I come through? And you were like, yeah, we'll see if we can volunteer you something. So I was like, all right. And then the folks at the Y were like, well, we wouldn't volunteer you at that site. And I'm like, I can't travel anywhere else because you guys were right behind Kennedy.
That's right.
B, I want to check on my students. And you were like, you know what? If you want to come through, and you gave me some key events I could come through for, just let me know ahead of time, just in case the YMCA brass shows up and get us into some hot water. So I was like, all right. So this is the first time in my life I think I ever scooched under some red tape.
That's cool. To come see some kids, you know what I mean? I mean, that's, that's community. I appreciate you trying, you know what I mean? Hell yeah.
And the kids appreciated it.
That's right.
But that was because of you, though. You know what I'm saying? You let that happen. And even though I came through maybe like 2 or 3 times, I think it was worthwhile. I still run into those kids today, and they're like, hey, Mr. L, how's it going? Yeah. It's just important to me that they knew someone cared. Yeah, period. You know what I mean? Coming from a place where, like you said, we get a certain stigma. You know what I mean? It's like, well, does anybody care? Like, if everybody's so hard, shit, who the hell's going to care? You know what I mean? And do you speak to a lot of kids still? Like, do you go and talk to kids? Because that seems like something just based on what I feel talking to you. Like, I see those programs where they go talk to juvies and stuff like that. Man, I mean, it's definitely that's why I wanted a business as well. Yeah, you know what I mean. I wasn't pigeonholed to what my supervisor wanted me to do, or that's not company policy or. Nah, man, that's why I wanted, to be back in Richmond. I could have stayed in San Leandro and started selling T-shirts at the farmer's market or, wherever. This is the internet days. I can sell T-shirts around the world. You know what I mean? It's not about anything. We wanted to we wanted to come back to Richmond for that reason. We just had that talk with our daughter. Like, it's not about just doing something, period. We wanted to come back to Richmond for it. You know what I mean? Because perfect time, man. Right now, there's a lot going on in the city. That's right. And when we first got started, 2016, we were looking at everybody like, damn, it ain't nothing going on out here. Like, we kind of doing it. Ain't nobody else really doing it right now. And I linked up with Mr. Phillip down at Coffee R&R. Oh, yeah, you guys are familiar. Yep. He was still in Hilltop Mall. And I shot him a random DM. Like, man, you're doing chess events. Let me do some promo T-shirts. I was like, wait, you do T-shirts? Come do a pop-up. You know what I mean? So he was like, oh, that's our first pop-up, first invite, first come, he did a free table, just come, post that, you know what I mean? And he did a couple art and soul events down there. And, it's really just like, like a handoff, that was God's handoff, you know what I mean? Just, come on, like I got you, you know what I mean? And like I said, it was a random DM, you know what I mean? I could have shot that to anybody, and it's not like I was just hitting everybody like I was supposed to, networking like I was supposed to. I had a newborn and, and everything else going on. I still got she was 11 at the time. We still got an 11-year-old, on top of the newborn, on top of the wife who's, and her classmates are my kids, you know what I mean? So I was trying to figure out what my wife is telling me. And just to go back to, being the same person out of the office, out of wherever, like that was really big for me. Like the fact that, I was, marrying somebody who saw that side of me, whose daughter felt me as somebody in the community at her school, as well as somebody who's like, okay, this could be my father, father figure, whatever you want to call it. But were you already kind of a father figure before you guys got together? I guess you could say so. Yeah, you know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah. I kind of felt that role for a lot of children in that program. Yeah. Working in our kind of line of work. Man, like I would literally have kids who wouldn't talk until I got to school. You know what I mean? Like screaming in the hallway, I ain't talking to nobody till Rico get here. And, okay, come on, I'm here. Let's talk. On that same note, was that hard to walk away from? Man, I still cry, bro. Yeah. I still cry. Like, grown man, like I still cry, bro. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. Cause that night when I made my decision, all soft, all cheesy, whatever you want to call it, I ran right to her and was like, I'm quitting.
You know what I mean? It's just like we could handle it. Like, you know, we could squeeze by. Like, you know, we still got to talk about bills and everything. Like, I couldn't just be bold and I quit. You know what I mean? I had to check in with the, you know, other half. Like,
for sure.
But I damn sure was like, you know, it was a bold decision, which is why I went out how I went out too. Like, if anybody remembers or cares, you know, we played championship flag football that weekend, and I invited the whole school. I went into the school, wrote a letter, invited the whole entire school to Nickel Park. Like, come, you know, this Rico's goodbye. We're gonna go get this championship and be done. We're gonna beat the Y, and you know. But it was a great turnout. You know, a lot of my families just came out and showed love, and, you know, it was a great game. You know, that was all family down there, you know what I mean? And that's something we always wanted to build, was just strictly family events, you know what I mean? Like, we wanted to build that competitive nature, but keep it strictly family, you know what I mean? And at the time, the district was really like you know, frowning down upon it, you know what I mean? I can't really get into it because, you know, I wasn't aware of everything that was talked about behind closed doors, you know? I was just some unruly employee who was like, I want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? But it was, you know, I felt like for a better impact. You know what I mean?
Quick question. You got a lot of people that come to you for like advice and to vent?
Man.
You come off like that
bro, I don't answer my phone enough. And I owe everybody who does or used to, you know, an apology. Because, you know, I done had a lot on my plate. And I had to step out of a lot of roles. You know what I mean? Like, there was, you know, there's 8, 9, and 10-year-olds who needed me. And I had to, you know, take a step back. I'm looking at them now as 13, 14-year-olds, you know, and I got to look at my boys the same way. Like, I haven't tapped in with a lot of them. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're up to now, but it smells like a lot of the same shit. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't want to frown on that, you know, because it's life. It's, you know, whatever you're going to do with it. I'm not trying to, you know, downplay nobody's, you know, life or liking or whatever it is, but
it's not yours anymore.
It's not mine. You know what I mean? Like, I was usually the guy in the room doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing anyway. Yeah. So, you know, like I tell her when she's like, you know, oh, hey, you know, you don't miss nobody. It's like, well, you know, you can always miss something, but this is, you know, you're not going to, you know.
I feel like I know what you mean exactly, man, because like, you know.
Like, it wasn't like we were just on honeymoon stage. You know what I mean? Like, folks don't want to get that. Like, I can't. I kind of downplay the timeline myself. You know what I mean? But everything we went through was like dumped on us. You know what I mean? Like, we literally moved in April 2016. She started not being able to eat, period. July 2016. Oh, wow. And then we found out the baby was coming in November 2016. Wow. And everybody's still looking at us like, oh, y'all just moved in together. And it's like, no, family, friends, everybody. You know what I mean? And
a real friend understands too. Like, you know, that's the thing.
And the ones do. You know what I mean? I still got, you know, good people who hit me. You know what I mean? Every couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, I don't do my due diligence. You know, as a friend, as a family member, I haven't done my due diligence. You know what I mean? But I had to build me a little family real quick. Like, you know, that's, you know, I was trying to build a business, everything at the same time, and, you know, that was hard. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. You know what I mean? Like, we talking about real life depression as well. Like, you know, it's in our book. Like, we were both sitting there on the couch on the floors crying. You know what I mean? Because we didn't know what to do, bro. We was getting kicked out the house and everything. We was months late rent, months late rent on the due and whatever, however you say it. I know that was backwards. I apologize. But nah, man. And I'm still posting on Instagram. Like, hey, I screen print. I do graphic design. Like, you know, what's up? Because I can get a job right now. Because you know,
do custom, like, if I wanted a voice party T-shirt,
I got you.
Ooh, yeah, it sounds like an opportunity.
Shameless plug. Yep. I'm back in the city, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people started doing things, and you know, that's great. But like I said, we got taken away, and you know, I'm a competitor by nature. You know, I came up playing baseball in the city. You know what I mean? And I done talked a lot of mess coaching. You know what I mean? And I miss all that. So I'm back in the city. And I'm supposed to be coaching somewhere right now or doing something. Like you said, I'm supposed to be talking somewhere. But, you know, we just got back. My son is still...
I'm surprised this is your first time ever doing it.
As soon as I diver train this boy, he's going to school. And, I'm out here. But, you know, I'm still really on him. The way our work schedule breaks down, she does the AM shift at the same nonprofit. She does the AM shift. So I'm at home with the kids. I drop her off at school. I'm home with him. Then we swap, and I do the swing shift. So I'm working till midnight, and then we do the same thing the next day. You know what I mean? So I'm still with him the first 8 hours of the day. So that's my day job still. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who wants to hit me, anybody who wants to come through, nothing has changed. I'm still at the house with my boy in the morning. Come by or hit me, and you know, he's talking now, so now we got to talk over him. But, you know, and I do, like, hella apologize. Anybody who listens to this and knows me, like, I'm around. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got I got 8, 9, and 10-year-olds who are now 13 and 14 and, you know, posting about carrying, you know, guns to school. And it's like, bro, I got to get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let alone my 30-year-old partners who I don't know what the hell they doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said, it's just good to be back. You know, as a grown man, I was a kid doing all that. You know what I mean? I felt like I was a kid in the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was under a lot of big people who were doing things, and I was always told, like, just hold on, wait, it's coming. You know, and like you said, it's a perfect time to be in Richmond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Especially if you got this kind of drive.
yeah, and I'm not
like-
trying to step on nobody's toes or, you know, sound cocky or by no means, but,
No,
you know,
yeah.
like, you
You're
know,
confident.
I feel I take it real personal, these kids. You know, like
Yeah.
you said, I'm not talking to these kids. Like, I take it real personal. You know what I mean? I just picked up my daughter early from school, and I grabbed 3 boys in a row by their heads. Like, I miss you, bro. I miss you, too. Yeah, you all trying to be hard. You come on, you know, I miss you, too. Yeah, man. So, you know, it's just good to be back. You know,
That's funny you said that. There's a I don't know if it's a real video now, but there's some guy he sees his kid at the liquor store being hard. He's like, give me a hug. You seen it? You know what I'm talking about? He's like, come here, give me a hug, and then he starts crying. I don't know if it's real, but it just cracks me up because like there's these dudes just trying to
That's
be really
right,
hard
man.
on the
And
streets,
see,
man, and it's
You know, see, you're so perfect at this, JD. So one day, my daughter squeezes me, right, bear hugs.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I gotta say something cool, catchy, you know, tight hug crew. It's like, tight hug crew, tight hug crew. So she starts yelling that down the hallways, you know, tight hug crew, tight hug crew. She's at the school, tight hug crew, tight hug crew. So that's another branch of, you know,
That's
whatever
a
we're
shirt
building.
right
Put that on a shirt. That's what I was
We
about
got-
to say.
It's on the website.
Oh, nice.
Tight hug crew established in 2015. The day she hugged me, you know, THC. Anybody from the area knows what THC is. Everybody needs it in their life. A good old hug. Tight hug crew, THC. I'm not, you know, banging nothing. Tight hug crew. But nah, man, everybody enjoys that warm feeling from both a hug as well as whatever substance that you enjoy on a late night, you know. But it hugs you, you know
Hence
what I mean?
the color green.
Man, bro. But you know that genuine hug from somebody, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
And I imagine the Tight Hug crew to be like our little nonprofit sector or something like that. You know,
Right.
like she loves talking about doing things for the homeless. We just haven't been able to as a business, as a family. We haven't been able to. So we're telling her like, hold on, it's coming. We got Place working with the homeless right now, so it's kind of like, you know, hand in hand. Like once we get our little feet settled and, you know, ready to do a lot of things and connect with a lot of people. You know what I mean? But Tight Hug crew definitely, you know. Yeah. Liquor stores, wherever you are, hug everybody.
You know what, man? Sometimes that can be the. I mean, I mentioned it in one of the episodes when like when because last year I had a couple of deaths, and then the last one for the end of the year was my dogs. And I remember being at a bar, drinking, having a good time, and I saw an old friend, and he hugged me. As soon as he hugged me, I just let out all these, all these tears. Like, a hug can fix a lot of damage, man. Not even fix, it just can, you know, like open up.
It's scientific, man.
Yeah.
Like a hug does a lot. That you know, not even skin to skin, just that embrace.
It's like
you know what I mean? It's not a sexual thing. It's not a male, female.
Nah.
You know, a good hug from a stranger can do you right for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never see that person.
I feel like it's like, you know, it's like we emit this like kind of like a soul Wi-Fi, and then once it meets
right.
another
Soul
one,
Wi-Fi.
and then
There
like
you go.
boom, some magic happens, and
the longer you hold a hug, I think it's supposed to be 15 seconds long.
Oh.
It releases a chemical in your brain that makes you
right.
go, oh, yeah, everything's gonna be all right.
Man, that's right though. That's right. You know, and you know, what a better way to tell kids in Richmond, you know, just go hug somebody. You know what I mean? We grew up trying to fight every day. You know what I mean? You know, cleaning pistols.
And when your friends are getting killed, that's the last thing you want to do. You want to hug somebody.
Period. I remember, you know, my dad passed a week after I turned 18, and after the service or whatever, I ran off stage, and all I remember was like a circle of my boys who caught me hugging, and I don't remember anything. I just remember being hugged by my partners. You know what I mean? And it was golden. That hug, you know, that embrace, that I got you. You know what I mean? And all that stuff is golden right there. So yeah. So for this little girl to embody that, you know what I mean, and just force me to be like Tight Hug crew, you know. Like, man, we're golden, you know. Like, and that's the stuff that makes me be okay with, like, okay, this is like our 3rd, 4th year in business. You know, I've barely sold over $100 in merchandise. Wow. You know, and it's, you know, it's coming. You know, it's coming. You know,
man, you give off hugs with your voice, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
I don't know.
Hey,
you know something?
Man. My wife don't want me talking to nobody.
No.
For real. Hey, you know something? That sounds like the perfect voice party, left hand, bare hand, right hand. That sounds like that sounds like that's perfect for a shirt with our logo on it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now we'll definitely put something together.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm really 10 minutes away from y'all, man. We just moved on the damn road. I'm right up the damn road. Yeah.
Man, if you would design something from, because based on everything that you say and the way you talk, and one thing I notice about when my interactions with people, more than the stuff that's said, is the way I feel around them.
Straight up.
And that for me, like, I could have a really simple conversation with someone somewhere I meet, and then I'll forget about what we said, but I'll remember how I felt around them, and that I'll probably die with that.
That's right.
Those memories of how I felt, and certain people you meet and you interact, and like, I feel warm just talking to you,
man. Appreciate it, man. I'm cold as shit.
I'm like,
my hands are. I'm
no, but
I
like,
appreciate it.
No, me too, but like,
I get you. But like, that soul Wi-Fi warmth.
It's like I'm in front of a chimney right now.
Yeah, man.
Based on you,
I'm a crackling log, y'all. I'm a crackling log.
Yep.
Just warms my soul.
Have you heard that before? I'm sure you've heard that before. I'm sure,
man.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think it's been related like that.
Yeah, just being as transparent as I can be, looking back on my life. Like, my sisters always tell me, like, brother, we just want to hear you talk.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. And my partners never wanted to hear me talk. So, it's like, man, if I can't win with y'all, shit, who am I winning with? You know what I mean? But, man, yeah, where y'all at? But nah, man, I think that's why I did so well with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, when I turned 18, I was a one-on-one aide at the school we were working at, and I was heavy. A one-on-one aide, you're with the child all day long.
Oh, yeah.
He had, to me, he was completely normal. You know what I mean? That guy's like 19, 20 now. Wow. You know what I mean? And if you're out there, man, you know who I am. Come find me. I don't want to say your name because that's, a lot. But, yeah, man, like, that was heavy for me. I was 18 and I was basically like a dad at school for this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys remember having somebody like that in your elementary school, but someone who had an aide, they're with him all day. You know what I mean? And he starts acting up. Come on, I got to take you out. Little things, a lot of,
You were his aide because of like
his behavior, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen when they have a disability or something, but okay.
I mean, they said he was born with some things, and, but like I said, he was completely normal in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, my whole thing to him was like, you're going to be a future Cal running back. And he took it. It's like, I'm going to behave in class because I got to get to Cal. You know what I mean? And,
but he's 19 now?
Just about. I had just turned 18, and he was in the third grade, like 8, 9.
Oh, okay.
So I figured I just turned 30, 12 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, like I said, I was doing work in Richmond since I was 15. Like, a lot of people were, I'm not trying to claim nothing else, just me, myself personally. You know what I mean? And I was, the right-hand guy kind of at my site, you know what I mean? Like, Big Reggie, I was, the right guy, you know what I mean? So it was always Rico and Reggie. We did a lot of things together, you know what I mean? And like I said, I owe a lot to that man, and just how he approached the kids and showed me how to, this is how you got to do things, you know what I mean? And my dad was pretty gentle, you know what I mean? We never wanted to shake him because we didn't want to hear that voice, you know what I mean? But like, even right now, my wife tells me all the time, like, it's that tone. Like, it's not what you're telling your kids. My boy is 2, and he gets my tone to the wickedness, you know what I mean? And she's like, hey, stop it. But I guess as gentle as I can be, I can also be as,
Right. When you need to be.
But that works with the kids. I used to be, I had one of the bigger programs in the district. I had like 140 kids or something like that. You know what I mean? I had like 20 in each grade. A lot of people just had like 60 kids or something like that. But I had 140. And on any given day, my staff would not be there. Mm-hmm. Like, not to throw nobody under the bus, but anybody who knew my site, we all had personal things. Mm-hmm. Everybody had something to them, which is why I wanted them at my site, because they were real people. It wasn't just, this is my only job and I'm just here to get a paycheck. Nah, these people were like, I'm plugged in over here. I'm going to go plug in over here and I'll get to you. I might not get you on time, bro, but I'm going to get there. And when I get there, we're going to do something with these kids.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just holding on until my people got there. You know what I mean? And the Y hated it, whatever organization. I didn't XYZ. But and like he said, it was a lot of red tape, I took over the site for somebody. So with that, you want to keep culture. You know what I mean? If any store manager leaves, you want to keep the store culture. Right, yeah. You know what I mean? Any staff. At the end of the day, these parents are clients. Yeah. This is customer service. I want to keep that same rapport. I don't want to, no hiccups. And my first couple of years, that's all I was focused on. When I should have been focused on, this is how I wanted to structure things. And by the time I was on, this is how I want to structure things, the other part of me was already on the way out, you know what I mean, and was on this next chapter, you know what I mean. So
on that note, real quick, I because I see. I mean, you're a parent now. How long you been a parent for?
Man,
I mean, just
so I was
your
15.
own.
I'm just like, well, just about. Not even to be funny. That was a off comment.
Right, but not like
it felt real though.
Shit, I mean, we
2016.
We moved in 2016.
So
my daughter, she was already 9, but that was my daughter. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, from the jump.
What I'm getting at is based on all the stuff you've seen in your job since you were 15.
Man.
What like is being around, because you see a lot of bad parenting.
Yeah, man.
So but what I'm getting at is, did it help mold what kind of parent you are? Like, I see this, I don't want that.
I think I need to reflect on it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I haven't given myself that much credit.
Okay.
You know, not even credit, just time. Mm-hmm. But nah, man, when I saw good parents, I'm gonna say it like this. When I saw good parents, I would take them to the side and be like, I appreciate you coming as a kid from Richmond. Yeah. You're raising a kid from Richmond.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Like, let's start there. I hella appreciate you. Cause you can be just another parent out here not tripping. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's not just Richmond parents that don't trip. It's parents all over America not tripping right now. You know what I mean?
And good parenting is like, people think, man, it's just, I don't know.
You can be a good parent right here in the school. I don't know how you treat them at home, but from how they're acting all day, we can kind of get a sense that, you're doing a pretty good job, parent. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to,
It's not about what you give them. It's the way, the things you teach them and all that. Yeah.
Sure. And then, going forward, like seeing some of those dads who I remember patting on the back, you know what I mean? I would be like, man, I'm one of y'all now. You know what I mean? Like, man, bro, like I'm trying, you know what I mean? And how you doing it, big brother? It's like, man, I'm trying.
But you've seen how harder it is than what I'm sure what you thought it would be, right? Because I wonder about that all the time. I don't have kids, but like I have nieces and nephews and godsons. Yeah. And, I mean, I can just imagine because like I'm sure that this is another thing too, that I had friends who were teachers, and like the stuff you encounter with some of these kids is so heartbreaking that you kind of want to step away from that kind of work sometimes.
That's right. I mean, I could never shut it down. Like after, me and the homies would be kicking it, and I would talk about program all night. Yeah. Because I would talk about program all night, to the point where, cats didn't want to hear that. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, we left work. Yeah. I haven't. You know what I mean? Like, I actually, it was more than just a job. You know what I mean? Right. And I think that's why it allowed me to cut so much red tape, because I knew, like, at the end of the day I would still be doing something like this. You know what I mean? Like, working in Berkeley. Okay, so working with the kids is great. Then shooting off to, I have a kid now, and I leave that job. So now I'm working with seniors in Berkeley doing blood pressure work. And it's like, damn, now I'm looking at my health. I got to start drinking my beet juice. And the hell's going on here? Water. You know what I mean? And man, so it kind of just jumped everything in, really, really hard in perspective. And
you're everywhere you need to be in life sometimes. Like, I feel like even if you hate where you're at,
that's no truer,
Yeah, you got to pay attention, because, and especially if you, I think I've said this before, but like I realized a long time ago, if you're somewhere, you identify a problem, you're part of the solution.
Man, and you got to remind yourself of that daily, because some of us are, we're hella angry at how everything is. Yeah. So it's like, we can't just pick one thing. Yeah. And it's like when we do, sometimes we go to the extreme and bad things happen because we just went to the extreme, or, whatever it is. But, that's real, man. Like, it was no realer than getting a job at, working with the homeless. And we get slapped with a 60-day notice. And it's like, man, well, hey, we looking for housing too, y'all. Like, how can I bond with y'all? Like, shit, man, where's openings? What I mean? And
it's like, we got an extra tent.
Which bench has the best market value right now?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because like the homeless thing,
it's real deal, man.
Like every time I go to Berkeley, like that could be me. Okay, but it could be any of us.
My father
one
is
trip over a tennis ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
My father is residentially challenged.
That's right.
I
love how you said it. I need to start saying that more.
He just found shelter like 2 years ago over I don't mind saying it. The Ron Dellum's apartments out in Oakland.
Right, yeah. But a lot of my peoples just got in there last week.
And what kills it? There's such a stigma against the homeless. They're lazy. Right. My dad has been one of the. He may not have been able to keep a job very long, getting temps and things like that, or maybe they don't want to hire him because he doesn't have an address. That's a hang up. But he worked. As long as I've been alive, that man has been working somewhere. Yeah. He just hasn't been able to afford rent.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right.
And if you talk to some of them, it's like, what got you here? A lot of them is like, I mean, one of the common ones is drug use, obviously.
Yeah.
And you know,
even then, I don't want to cut you off. But even with that said, like, not just because I'm living it right now, talking to them nightly, but it's the era they came up in.
Yep.
We're so lucky we're coming up in the era, working up in all the shit that we're hooked on daily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're lucky.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, the stuff that's accessible now, all the stuff that we're like, oh, I would never touch was accessible for them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it's, it's real, it's era based. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Very era based.
And like when, because this was kind of close to me with some family members.
That's right.
Okay. The drug abuse it's easy to just say it's drug abuse.
Oh yeah.
But once you really get to the root of it, like some of them, like, I never recovered from my parents dying.
That trauma.
The trauma,
Trauma.
and not knowing how to move on from that. Like, that's, especially you said era, that era when, what was it, like the before us, where, they just didn't know how to handle their emotions. So
Right.
it is a perfect time to be, because it's acceptable, as especially like guys.
It was manly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
look at him. Ain't nobody gonna mess with him.
You know what, to touch on that real quick, like, it's something my father had said, because he ended up homeless due to a drug addiction, and it started off with weed. Like, my mom introduced him to weed, and then it spiraled into something else. And he said he's been sober since I was 3, but he said, you know what, everyone was so busy. When I fell from grace, they were all like, well, Tony was so smart. Tony was so, how did he not go to a 4-year? What happened? How did he? No one stopped to ask if Tony was happy.
Man.
And then my father broke down in tears. See, when he was a kid,
That's right.
when he was a child, there's an uncle who took advantage of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that he was never able to get over that pain. And when you get violated by somebody that's supposed to love you, there is nothing, at least from what I can see, there's nothing worse that could affect somebody growing into adulthood.
Especially when, like, as guys, we're kind of taught to not, like, it's hard to open up about certain stuff.
Yeah.
It's older generations, especially like us, we're, we can express it, especially artistically. For us, it's easier.
That's right.
But there's a lot of, like, there's this comedian, I don't know if you know John Mulaney. He has this joke about how his dad was real cold, old Irish guy. He's like, basically he just believed I'll hold it all in, and then one day I'll just die. Like, like, I saw I saw a lot of people are, and I mean, not just guys, everyone, but
not to get like that, but I said life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cold. You know what I mean? Like, it's cold. You know what I mean? And we live in a time where we can really put our hands on it and make it our own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have it back then.
Right.
That's all they saw was their front porch a lot of the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever passed by that front porch was their idea of what was outside of that porch.
Yep.
The whole world looks like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard.
Our world's a little smaller with like for example, social media, internet.
Right.
We see other stuff, and like if and like what you're doing, you can network with people all over the world, or
that's right.
We met through him. We can do stuff like this. For me, this is kind of a therapy, because like I learn a lot from the people that come.
Yeah,
like yourself. Yeah, and it's always good to. Like we're gonna get to this.
Yeah.
Is this something that you guys did while you were going through?
Straight up.
How long has that?
Man, that was the the breaking point. We can't take this no more. We're gonna do something about it. Like, we're not these depressed ass people. Like,
was this like sorry?
Yeah,
was this
straight up.
We're gonna talk about it in a bit, but like,
nah, I mean, it's my artwork, so we can talk about it.
Okay.
I design book covers.
Oh, okay.
I've only done one, but I can do yours.
No.
Yeah, man. It started off as like, okay, let's both write.
That's a lot.
It's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be double, because I was supposed to write another half. You know what I mean? But I couldn't get myself to write. On some trauma, on some hurt, on some depressed, on some I don't want to talk about my feelings.
Right.
I couldn't get myself to write.
Yeah.
But watching her sitting there write, spilling her guts out on that paper, just writing.
Yeah.
And at that time she was text messaging the book to me. So that's how she started writing the book, text messages to me.
Yeah.
Those got put into some app, which got put into the laptop, which got put into the book. But, you know, with that said, like, I'm sitting there watching her tap everything away. And it's mostly the conversations we've already had, you know, because, you know, you start dating somebody, you know, hear a lot of stuff.
Right.
But, you know, just to have her, you know, go about it again and, you know, probably a little more raw, a little more uncut, you know, a little more you love me now, so you're going to hear it all. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know a lot of husbands who are trying to hear everything that their wife has done, you know, good, bad, shady, you know, joyous. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of dudes can't even listen to their wife being happy with somebody else. You know what I mean? Let alone, you know, hurt by him. You know what I mean? And whatever it is. So, you know, I proofread it. You know, everything. She wrote everything down, and you know, it was her life from, you know, she was a baby with her mom, you know, to till now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So everything we went through is from there. You know, the title is Renewed, Restored, Reassembled. So that tells you one thing right there. Like, you know, you had to go through some healing. You know what I mean? There was some hurt somewhere. You know what I mean? And I don't want to tell too much of the story. You know, she'll get into it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know she got a mouth open, but you know, it really was, man. It was therapeutic for me because I felt like once we had the artwork, I was, you know, like, not I had done my piece, but it's like, okay, now, you know, it's like putting a flag down. You know, like, it's not just a thought no more.
Right.
Like, now we got a cover to this book. It's about to get uploaded. You know, we self-published on Amazon, so we did the whole process ourselves. You know, it was a lot. You know what I mean? Every word on the front cover is me and her. Everything on the inside is her.
I know you mentioned that you were gonna do another part to this. Is that something that you are
possibly, if I ever, you know, get grown man enough to write it. You know, but I mean, it's everything that I've been through too. You know what I mean? Like,
so this is your story too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I come in what chapter I'm on. You know, probably later halves, but yeah, you know, I'm in there too. You know, like you know, from 2016 on, you know, her life is in there too. So you know, it's up until 2019. Like, up until the day she hit upload, it's in the book. And then, you know, she had to go further. We uploaded, and then she had to go back and add a few more chapters because of some things that happened after she published. You know, just
so this is recent. This is fresh story, basically.
Yeah, so that's the second edition, basically. So we've already printed 2 different editions, I guess you could say. Published one, and then she rewrote another 6 chapters. Another 6 chapters added to it, and that was just based off of certain reactions. You know, certain things that she thought, you know, I could say are gonna happen. You know, and it was like complete 180. So it's like, damn, I can't leave the book like that. That's a lie. You know, I got to go back and fix this.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and it was a lot. And, you know, it did bring us out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we got flooded with sales and, you know, all of a sudden we were able to go buy a house, you know, but it was personally like, no, we did that. Yeah. You know, like, we got a damn book out. You know what I mean? Like, we touched that cover, and it was like, man, even if it don't sell, like, we did that. Like, our daughter's reading it. You know, I can't say what page she's on, but you know, it's a lot. You know, there's a lot of things that go on in a you know, it's from Richmond. Yeah. So a girl from Richmond, Easter Hill, I don't know if you guys are familiar. You know what I mean? The Hill, whatever you want to call it. That's her, you know, from whatever you want to call it. And you know, it's raw, it's rugged, it's her decisions. You know, it's supposed to be you know, like I tell people, it's the trouble she got herself into and what God brought her out of. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the whole basis of. That's why if you look on Amazon, it's her, she's the author and God is the author, because, you know, he wrote her story, you know, and she had to come and testify. You know, like her whole thing was, I wasn't going to write a book. Nah, man, God told me to write this book. I don't know what the hell for. You know, like, we really sitting there crying in tears, like, I'm going to start writing this book. Yeah. You know, like, it wasn't a cocky, it wasn't like, I'm going to write a book and, you know, la, 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 la. A lot of people probably feel like that, you know what I mean? But it's not what we were doing. You know what I mean? It was really like, man, God done healed me. I jumped in this shower and told him, by the blood of Christ, you're going to heal me. And he did. Yeah. And I got to tell people how the hell this happened. Starting from when I was a baby. When like, like, you know, and she did, bro. Like, you know, I'm hella surprised I ain't started crying yet. You know what I mean? But, you know, it was a lot. You know what I mean? And just to be a part of that process, like, you know, like I said, you know, she published a book that's gonna be there forever. Like, when we saw the ISBN number, that shit like broke our heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. A buddy of mine the other day set it into his Google. He was like, "Hey Google, renewed, restored, reassembled," and it popped up, and that melted me. Yeah. It melted me. You know what I mean? Like, man, you can't. My brand don't even pop up. You say LRBH.life, nothing happened. Like, we've been around since 2016. Like, she just published, and it's bow right there. You know what I mean? And that, it touches a piece to you. Like, not even, I don't know, cocky. Like, we did that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you.
This is a lot of it's a big story,
and it's not perfect. Like I said, I proofread it, and half the time I can't even see what I'm looking at. So, it's like she says that it's imperfectly, her. She doesn't speak with proper grammar. Why should her book? She doesn't write like that. You know what I mean? So,
and a lot of famous authors didn't,
period. They didn't hire teams, and the team had a team.
Yep, exactly.
But everything got done right. Right here with us. So it's supposed to be messed up because we're messed up, but y'all love us. Man, some of y'all, I don't know. But nah, man, like I said, just really appreciative to y'all for opening the door, creating the space. You know what I mean? Like creating the space, bro. Like I said, we got taken out the city, and I feel like I personally, just for what I want to do with myself and my brand, I need to go and pat a few people on the back. Like, thank you for keeping going. Yeah. Because I feel like I was digging my cleats in, and then I got called back to the dugout, and then I'm like, whoever's gonna be hitting, please get us on base. You know what I mean? And now that I can come back to the plate, I feel like, okay, we here now.
We appreciate you coming by, and then there's a lot of people that I know, because I've heard feedback recently that are trying to start either something that's their own, but they're afraid of making that.
That's right.
So what would you say to someone that's like thinking about it, but they're afraid to take that leap?
Do not do it to impress nobody. Don't do it for no other false reasons. Like, there was a reason why it didn't happen with me and my partners. There's a reason why I didn't just branch off and do something on my own. Like, I'm the last one to be like, God did this, God did that. But man, God did it. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there on my bedroom floor crying. Like, man, I want to start a brand. And everything, all the feedback that I have gotten has been millions compared to what I've earned. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten sat down by people who have done this for 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. Like, bro, you got something on your hands. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's hella rewarding because I can't be out at pop-ups. I can't be in music videos. You know what I mean? Like, I got a 13-year-old daughter. What I look like being in a video, passing, whatever.
You could be in mine.
Man, straight up. We still got to hit the studio with our partner. We still got sessions to go sit down in.
Yep, we do.
Man, yeah. I'm about to A&R a few projects.
Okay. About to A&R mine, what I'm saying?
But man, like I said, I'm still a baby out here. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I had my life set for a while. I didn't expect to get married. I wasn't out here looking for a wife. I wasn't, out here hollering at different chicks all day. You know what I mean? That was not me. Yeah. And the fact that, a lot of people could be like, damn, Rico got him a little family now. Like, that's hella cool to me. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to happen. Like, I wasn't Mr. Player, but I, was single. I was, whatever. Like, people know me, know what I've been through. And, it was unexpected, but I wouldn't have it no other way because look what it brought me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, the feedback I've gotten off all this, it makes me feel good, period. You know what I mean?
You got a partner,
Yeah.
Your personal life, professional life, spiritually. Like, yeah.
And, as much as I say we haven't been doing nothing, like, we talk a lot. We talk all day, every day. And you have to plot within there. You know what I mean? So we have Each Queen United in Progress, Equip. That's coming. That's a women's group. That's something that we're working real heavy on. That's up and running. We got designs. We already put that in the fashion show. We just haven't put nothing on the website. You know what I mean? I have a broken iPad. So as soon as we get that fixed, I can go back to designing and, all that kind of stuff. But we're still working. Like, we just got our spot back. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, so we had a 60-day notice. Like, we just got back. A lot of things that a lot of people probably aren't going to talk about. Yeah. We went through. Yeah. And it's like, if y'all afraid to talk about that, I'm not going to let y'all talk about the glory I'm about to give y'all. Right. You know what I mean? So we got to come, talk about our mud. You know what I mean? So
we want to do a follow-up with you later on.
Yeah, definitely.
To see where the brand is at and where you guys are at.
I can always come guest anything, like, man, it's good. I'm back in, I'm a few blocks from y'all. But, anything, on. Man, definitely. Right on. I'm going to work on that project for y'all and definitely. Yeah.
And where can people reach out to you on whatever forums you're...
Instagram is lrbh.life. Okay. lrbh.life. And that's also our website, barehanded at lrbh.life as well. That's the email. I'm also on Instagram at Richmondian. I post a lot of like positive stuff on there. I don't really post a lot of brand stuff. Yeah. And I appreciate everything, brother. And like I said, I just got back. So, you know, a piece of me, you know, still is on a routine of just going back in the house with my son. Because I'm, you know, still like, oh, he's a baby. Yeah. And I look at him making this damn mess in the house like, boy, if you're not outside making a mess in somebody else's house. You know, I definitely got people to go visit. You know, we got hands to go shake. I got, you know, just
food to go eat.
Man, I heard that. You know, leave some on Art's kitchen table. You know? But nah, man, it's just appreciative. Like I said, you know, nothing was like never wanted to make millions. Yeah. You know, like my first thing I did a summer was did a silkscreen class. You know, like that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I was supposed to do a few I had scheduled. I had one set up with Rich Shitty Kids. I don't know if you know her, J Lyric Evans. She's she's around doing things. I probably messed up your name, and I'm so sorry. But I was supposed to do a project with her. I didn't get a chance to finish because we had just so much going on, and you know, there's a lot of things that I left unfinished, and personally, that looks horrible. You know, like early businessman, let alone like my personal name. You know what I mean? But you know, y'all see what I've been up to. I ain't been out here being shady. I'm right around the corner with my, you know, wife and kids, man. I'm here.
Right on,
yeah. I hella appreciate y'all, man.
Nah, thank you for coming down.
LRBH.life, man. Just at least come see the website, see what we're working with. Give me feedback too. Like I haven't been able to be at pop-ups and hear what y'all want. Like, not even be cocky, but so many people hit me on the gram. Bro, I'm gonna get a hoodie next week. Bro, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? And you never tap back in. I ain't calling nobody out, but man, to be honest,
happens a lot, man. I'm gonna be at the show.
Here.
I'll see you at the
Straight
show.
Up, you feel me? And with that said, like I haven't been able to support nothing in Richmond because we were way out in San Leandro.
Oh yeah.
So you know, we would be like, oh, we're gonna get there, and then you know that night would come and be like, damn, we ain't going nowhere.
I always say if you can't buy or show up, repost.
Straight up.
That's, you know,
you're right.
Yep.
Straight up. Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, we appreciate you sharing your story with us, and like I said, we'll do a follow up.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right, sir. You guys.
Appreciate it.
It's been the Voice Party. We're out.
Yep.